Julien Richer-Lanciault, Product Manager at Canadian simulation specialist CM Labs, envisages the job site of the future.
Hi everyone, my name is Julien Richer-Lanciault. I'm Product Manager for Construction at CM Labs. The vision of the construction site in future, when we talk about 5-10 years and more, we see a lot of the new technology not available today, but it will be more common and fully accepted by every workers, managers, directors, etc. And those technology, we see the connectivity, remote working. I know it's a bit of a trend in those days with the COVID, everyone are working in remote, but even heavy equipment now you can operate them in distance. It's not fully accepted yet in construction, but in some sectors like port and mining, we see some of them. So you will see the connectivity between those machines, or even the material management. You can have notification on your cell phone, a new amount of concrete is coming, where's the truck, etc. So everyone will have access to the data of every workers on the work site or who's coming. So a bright future is coming for this. Simulation in future, I should maybe describe simulation today, the way it's used. Today it's mainly used for training new operators on the equipment, etc. But what we see from simulation in the coming years, and this one is more in the shorter term, couple of years, it's more about worksite planning. So let's say you have a large scale project, usually maybe 2-3 years and even more of a worksite. You can start to plan what is the next phase of this worksite. You can, for example, take a drone, scan the worksite, import this into simulation, and you can start to do mission planning by using simulation. So how many excavator do you need, the size of them, or even the size of the crane. And you can already plan in advance, probably the lift of the crane, what will be the size of the building, etc., the load to lift. But you can also experience by using the simulation. So this is coming in the near future. So the way we test the feeling of the equipment, and that's also one reason why people are purchasing our CM Labs simulators, is the feeling of the equipment. I know it's quite subjective because the feeling could be affected by what you see, what you can hear, the vibration of the machine, etc. What we do today, we replicate the machine by doing the reverse engineering. So that's the start. That's really the foundation of our simulation. By doing the reverse engineering, we simulate the engine, the transmission, the hydraulic system. So it brings us to a certain level of simulation and accuracy. And the next step is to work with OEMs, operators, sometimes training school to really test the machine. Because a good operator, they can operate almost with closed eyes. And we have a couple of videos where we can show you how operators sometimes are proficient with their equipment just by the feeling of the motion platform. They can operate the dozer or the excavator and they know exactly where they are. So we are going in detail to replicate all those small behaviors. Even for the machine sounds, we go on the work site or at the customer site. We bring a sound engineer to record exactly the machine sounds, the track, etc., the sound of the hydraulic system. So all those details are quite critical because operators are using all those cues to operate the machine at the maximum of their efficiency. So in terms of automation, what's coming? I don't think the operator will be fully removed from the loop. We'll always need an operator to operate those machines. Even if they are automated, you will need to have someone behind the keyboard or on the worksite to manage all those automated machines. And even that automation, it's not the end of the game. It's just the beginning of a different game. You will always need to improve those machine behavior to be more proficient, etc. And for this, you always need to have a human behind that, engineers, etc., to manage those machines. So operators, as we know today, might evolve in a different title, might become the manager of the equipment or the yard. But again, I still think automation, it's there to improve worksite. And even operators today, when they sit on the cabin, there is even more and more automation around them to make sure they enhance the capacity of the operator. When you talk about machine control system or GPS, with all those brands on the market available that will automatically control the blade or the bucket. So those features are semi-autonomous to again improve the capacity of the operator and to become more efficient. Today, simulators, as I said in a couple of questions further, it's used to train operators to learn on new piece of equipment. But we start to see some cases where they use simulation to plan in advance what will be the next step. In forestry, they will use simulation to test what will be the most optimal harvesting pattern for this type of forest, depending on the wood, etc., the terrain. So that's something you can see for mission planning. Construction, we are going in the same direction. They're using simulation to optimize and upskills operators so how they can be more efficient by reducing their cycle times, etc. And with the more adoption of the drones being able to scan the work site, we'll see also this coming maybe in 2 years in simulation. So simulation is not only to train operators, but it will become at some point the digital twin of a work site. So you can replicate digitally and try different cases, what the size of the equipment, etc., or trying different techniques, and to see the impact of those techniques on the safety, efficiency, and even the end project. So that's something we'll see coming shortly.